All right, hey guys, we're setting up our bag for hole number 8 here, and the way that we're going to go about doing this, very similar method, but we're going to try to avoid the mistakes that we made. Here you're going to see me set up my bag very similarly, and keep in mind, I mentioned this, I believe in yesterday's video, that with the downhill nature of this wind, when you have a tailwind like that that kind of shoots down to a lower target, it really overplays the wind. So you'll see me play Thor's Hammer much closer to, say, 1 per ring as opposed to 1.7 per ring. So with that in mind, if I have a 6 wind, that's a tailwind, I'm going to make sure that I've accounted for at least 6 rings on this drive. So definitely keep that in mind. I don't recommend going out to this right under really any circumstance. It's a lot easier to hit this fairway than guys are giving it credit for. I'm going to need very little power, and I'm going to need very little curl because I have a side spin ball on. Even if I didn't, I could just curl it a little bit more. But notice how I'm using right around 3 bars of topspin. And, in terms of power, we're going to go very little. Like I said, we really can't afford to use power here in these situations, because you're going to see me just gently overpower here. It's very, very softly what I'm doing. And there it's just rolling out into the fairway. So you can see, it's playing it a little conservative, but keeping it safe. That's the most important thing, is, it is going to roll forward through that rough. And like I said, you can use a little bit of power, and I was trying to very gently do that. But aside from that, keep it between 3 and 4 topspin. Ideally, you want it to just hop onto the fairway very minimally, as opposed to rolling through that rough. But we'll still be okay. We'll just be more towards mid-club and make it a little bit harder to hold out. Anytime that I'm right at min distance, I almost count it. Like, I just feel that the ball's going in. But I also drove it too far yesterday, so I wanted to, make sure that I had a shot for you guys that is the appropriate way, in my opinion, to play this one, which is going to be more of a forward method. Here you can see there's where max is. We actually are very close to max, which is 2.0 per ring for me. First off, I might need to go off the fringe, because you can see when you get towards max, it very much changes the way that the ball runs out. So here you're going to see me just kind of back off kind of my spin a little bit, just a little bit shy of 3 bars. Aside from that, we are going to play it relatively close to max, just a little bit less. So I'm thinking, 2 point whatever that was per ring, 2.5 rings.
Perfect shot.
2 3/4, and just run it off that fringe and try to. Oh no! So it did just gracefully run along the edge of the cup and not go in. And as I mentioned, that's kind of the downside to putting yourself at mid to max club, is it definitely makes the shot harder. And there you can see it just gently missing. If that would have been at mid club, I would have just been, basically changing the number on the score. Like, I'd feel so comfortable that it's just going in. All I need to do is hit perfect ball. And we'll try to do it towards that front. I think I made it with backspin yesterday. But I would try very much to, use this front type approach. And it would be much easier, like I mentioned, as long as you are at min club and not. I think I drove it like 3 yards too long yesterday. It wasn't very much. And with that one, I really got robbed because, I was not able to, drive it to where I needed it to. But at the very least, that's okay. We will just move on from that and do our best to, here I'm going to try to play very close to max ring, very similar to, what you guys saw me do in the last hole. We just played this one.
Perfect shot.
A little bit different wind this time, but the approach that I go about doing it is going to be virtually identical. And you can see anything, close to a yard is going to be well played, and give yourself a really great chance to pick up the win when going about, going for that shot. Anytime that it's into the wind, it does help, people, but my opponent here would have to hit very, very short on that fairway, and he's setting up to hit a bit too deep and also applying too much curl.
Great shot.
Can actually help, but aside from the fact that it's just too deep into that fairway, it needed to be just barely on that fairway. If you wanted to stop that by the hole, it would have to just land on the other side of that rock, and then because there's not enough backspin to stop it. But there you can see, hopefully you guys can get that 8th hole. I do prefer the way that I went about it today, even though I think I made it yesterday, missed it today. With that being said, I still prefer and would really highly recommend going at it the way that I went today. It's going to go in more often, especially if you can get it up there and hit it more towards min club. So that's what I would work on doing, getting it to that min distance perfect, and you'll see a lot of shots go in. So good luck there. Catch you guys later. Next hole.